World League Wrestling brings Brawl in the Fall on Saturday, October 9th at the Race Wrestling Arena in Troy, Missouri. Harley Race's WLW will be bringing another action-packed wrestling event at the house that Harley Race built. WLW stars that will be appearing include Raheem De La Suede, The Deliverer Moses, Leland Race, Derek Stone, and much more. The main event will feature Ring of Honor superstars The Bouncers, Beer City Bruiser, and Brawler Milonas in tag team action against WLW stars John Webb and Jayden Dominic Rose. Tickets are on sale right now at harleyrace.com or call 573-392-4100. World League Wrestling, where sports entertainment stops. October 9th, it's time to shut up and wrestle. Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to this special edition of Amplify Brawl in the Fall pre-show for World League Wrestling. I'm CT Harrison, and I am joined by the hosts of Uncensored Wrestling Talk on the Traveling East Productions Network. You can watch every Saturday from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m. On Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. You don't want to miss that, so do that. Today, we are going to talk about the show coming up.
Yeah,
Brawl in the Fall.
We're almost
big things happening.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. We're about 29 minutes to bell time. It's going to be a great night of wrestling. We got 6 great matches to talk about.
Yes, we do.
And I'm Doc. That's Sarge.
Yes, sir.
And like CT said, catch us on Uncensored Wrestling Talk every Saturday from 2 to 4. But tonight, Brawl in the Fall. It's going to be a great night. What's the first match we got in line, CT?
You tell me.
First match I want to talk about. I'm getting up my list here because, well...
I've got it. You want me to run?
Nope, I got it right here. We got Camaro Jackson going up against the heartthrob Jaden. Now...
The Quad Father.
The Quad Father.
Now, these two... There's a lot on the line here with these two. Heartthrob, in our mind, and what we've seen, he needs to be the number one contender for that World Heavyweight title. Camaro Jackson has been an up-and-comer. Well, he was. But with everything what the Empire has done over the last, I'd say, 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Lost it due to some shenanigans.
Evil shenanigans.
Evil shenanigans.
Evil.
Now, we have Camaro Jackson, who we've all said in the future will be a World Heavyweight Champion.
Yes.
Now, with that being said, these two have a lot to prove tonight. We don't know who's going to be at ringside with Camaro. Maybe even Heartthrob may bring someone to ringside with him. Who knows?
Yeah, Camaro might have Derek Stone with him. He might have Malice Mayhem with him. He might have both of them with him.
That's a dangerous combo right there.
Indeed.
But Heartthrob definitely needs a win tonight. I will say that. He definitely needs to pull one out. Camaro Jackson, from what you can see on the card and from everything that we've seen to this point, it more looks so like it could be a win for Camaro tonight too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm pulling for Heartthrob. Hope everything goes well, but man, you got your work cut out for you tonight.
Absolutely, and Camaro Jackson should not take the Heartthrob for granted either.
That's right.
We've seen
That's
a
true.
lot coming out of the Heartthrob lately. The Heartthrob is recently kind of, I don't want to say changed direction or anything, but he's not the same Heartthrob we had before.
No.
So I'm hoping for big things if this continues for him.
He is definitely a more focused Heartthrob.
Absolutely.
All right. Then, speaking of the Empire, we've got Derek Stone, former WLW Heavyweight Champion, going up against former Junior Heavyweight Champion Sean Patrick. Now, these two are no stranger to each other in the ring.
Absolutely not.
As a matter of fact, last year, Sean had a couple different run-ins with the Empire, whether it been Derek Stone Camaro Jackson, or even at the time John Webb.
Yeah.
So
They had some run-ins against each other just last month down around the Fort Leonard Wood area when we were down there.
Yes.
did.
And there is some still unfinished business from that as well.
there is now tonight. We don't know if Derek's going to have someone at ringside with him as well. It would be interesting to see. But Sean needs this.
Sean Patrick is also somebody we've seen a little bit of a change in lately. Since he's lost that title, since he lost the junior heavyweight championship, it's like he's trying to find direction of some sort, and I keep waiting for him to snap.
Yeah, it's a rise to the top for him as far as anger, because he's lost a couple matches here in the last couple events, and
Well, going up against a man like Derek Stone, and then having possibly with someone of the likes of Malice Mayhem causing all kinds of trouble, it could cause Sean to snap.
now, and let's be honest, 2020 was the year for Derek Stone and Sean Patrick, both of them holding major titles last year.
It was, I wouldn't say just for Derek Stone, for the Empire as a whole, because remember, they were tag team champions.
That's right.
They were.
They held the tag team championships and the heavyweight championship, and you know, before Moses took it away from Derek Stone.
Yep.
Now recently, they have thrown John Webb to the curb.
Yep.
Is no longer part of the Empire. A lot of changes, and I don't know if that has caused any kind of an imbalance within the Empire right now. Maybe they don't have their feet under them just yet. Maybe they do. I don't know. We'll find out. But Derek Stone is not a guy to take for granted. Derek Stone, he acts like an animal, but is very cerebral.
Yes.
And you cannot take him for granted. Don't think he's dumb just because he acts dumb.
Right.
He's a beast.
He held on to that championship for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't put Derek Stone at the bottom of the list. He's at the top of the list of people to watch out for. So, you know, he's big and goofy, but if he gets a hold of you, we'll look out.
Yeah.
So now my other question, do you think they're looking for a third potential member in the Empire to fill John's spot?
Don't know. Not even thinking about that right now.
That's fair.
Not even an issue.
Tonight's the main focus.
Yeah.
So also tonight we are going to have...
That's speculation for Uncensored Wrestling Talk.
That is true, so make sure to stay tuned. Next match, Brandon Espinoza versus Colton Theron Vaught, must-see TV. We haven't seen Colton here in a little bit. Couple months. He's got his hands full. Give the kid a lot of credit. But there's something different with Espinoza.
He's been on a tear as of lately.
He has been. Last event, we saw him have some words with the Legacy Leland race.
Yep. We saw Leland Race put to sleep.
Yes.
Yep.
He passed out.
He did. My question here is, what is going through the mind of Brandon Espinoza tonight?
Brandon Espinoza is a man, I believe, who is tired of watching everybody else get what he thinks he deserves.
That's fair.
And I think he's now at a point where he's ready to pull the trigger and do whatever it takes. And if you remember, it wasn't long ago, we got Espy and Colton Theron Vaught in the ring. But Espy got in Colton Theron Vaught's head, started saying, you're not who you were before.
That's
what is
true.
this, black trunks now? What is this? You know, you're not the same Colton Theron Vaught. Who is this?
Right.
And was trying to get Colton Theron Vaught to come out. And hopefully, in his time away, Colton has managed to find what that was inside of him before the tag titles were lost, and become a singles competitor. And in order for him to continue that journey, he's gonna have to do it. He's gonna have to do it with by defeating Espy. He has to defeat Espy on this. Espy doesn't have to defeat Colton Theron Vaught. Colton Theron Vaught has to defeat SB, in my eyes. My eyes.
Yeah.
But like you said just a few moments ago, with Brandon Espinoza, he is tired of being overlooked, and he is taking things into his own hands now, and by hook or by crook, he's going to be looked at.
Yes. And half of the WLW roster has felt Brandon Espinoza's destruction over the last couple months.
Yes.
So
in one way, shape, or form.
There's a lot that's going on in his head. I speculate what it is, but Colton better watch out tonight. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, agreed.
So, Sarge, you got one you want to talk about?
We've got the Deliverer Moses, the WLW Heavyweight Champion, going up against a young man making his WLW debut, Billy the Kid Jarrell.
Gerald.
I'm sorry, Gerald.
We mispronounce it like every other day because we just know him as Billy. We've seen Billy over the last year, I'd say. Billy has his heart in this industry. He trained for a year. He put in the time. So now he's getting his debut tonight. But what a way to debut against the current heavyweight champion in the Deliverer Moses.
I remember watching Billy. Now you weren't in there yet, but I remember watching Billy take his very first bumps in practice to what he is now. Watching him grow inside that ring with his training and his heart, I expect big things from Billy. And this is going to be, I mean, if you're going to try yourself, then you try yourself against the big dog, the big man in the yard.
Sure.
And
Yep.
right now, that is Moses, or the Deliverer Moses.
With Billy, with getting to see him train over the last several months, though, I will say this about him. There's not one thing that he has shied away from attempting and doing.
No.
Not one single thing. So the Deliverer...
He never sits on his pity pot.
No.
He never gets on a high horse either.
No.
He's Billy, man.
Yeah.
This might be a debut, but the Deliverer is going to find out pretty quickly that he's going to have his hands full.
I don't doubt it. Billy, in my mind, when I first met Billy, he just seemed like this mellow country boy that just, loves professional wrestling and just wanted to see what it was like. But getting to know Billy and seeing him dedicated to the Harley Race Academy and seeing him come up, it's such kind of an inspiring thing to see someone put their whole heart and effort.
I agree.
And now we're getting ready to see the payoff tonight. And the cool thing of it is we all know Moses. Moses has been a great champion thus far. So I know Moses is going to go in there and he's going to give Billy his best, just like I know Billy's going to give him his best.
I'm totally excited to see what happens with Billy the Kid during his tenure here at World League Wrestling, because honestly, the sky is the limit with this young man.
I see
Agreed.
a bright future. I definitely see a bright future for him.
Agreed. I think you're even going to see a 10 times better Billy within a year.
I don't doubt
The way
that
his
at all.
growth is and his heart, if he sticks with it, that boy's going places.
Yes, he is.
Another match that's going to happen tonight. The junior heavyweight champion, Raheem De La Suede, is going up against Kyle Roberts. Now, we have found out that there's a stipulation to this match, and that is that if Kyle Roberts beats the WLW Junior Heavyweight Champion, he becomes the #1 contender to said title.
Now, at the last show back in September, there's still a lot of beef over that junior heavyweight title. You still have Stephon Newton waiting in the wing, and then you also have
Jayden Dominic
Rose, John Webb somewhat. He had made mention of it.
If he wants to take that junior heavyweight championship back, he could. John Webb is one of those guys that could do it on any given Sunday.
He could.
And Sean Patrick as well.
Yes. And Sean Patrick. So if Kyle beats him and automatically becomes the new #1 contender, this is going to be, because to this point, Kyle has only been a tag team champion on 3 different occasions. He's never held a singles title in his career here at WLW. So this would be a good
his first
singles
opportunity.
run for him as far, let's get the ball rolling. Now, Raheem, I give it to Raheem.
He's on one heck of a winning streak as of late.
By any means necessary.
By any means necessary. I mean, he at the last event, it was a disqualification between himself and John Webb. But you know what? He doesn't look at that as a loss. He looks at it as a win because he is still the junior heavyweight champion.
And you know what? And that's all that matters. A win's a win for him. So as long as he holds on to that title. Now, Kyle, he's in this tag team tournament that is currently going on. And he's got a lot on his mind with that. But you also know in the back of his mind, this is going to be a put up or shut up time for Kyle Roberts to get that junior heavyweight opportunity. So I'm really looking forward to see what Kyle brings to the ring tonight.
Agreed.
So now, one of the main reasons we're all here, and we look forward to this, John Webb and Jayden Dominic Rose versus ROH's The Bouncers.
Beer City Bruiser and Brawler Milonas. Of course, Beer City Bruiser being a Harley alumni. And this time, he's coming back. And this time, he brought his tag team partner from Ring of Honor, Brian Milonas, who is a very big man himself, but can move.
Yes, he
he's
can.
a pure wrestler in his own right. Man, the boys have got their work cut out on them for them.
Now, a lot of people, if you don't watch Ring of Honor, like we watch Ring of Honor weekly. It's great wrestling. These two are one of the best tag teams in the world.
Well, here's the thing. With Beer City Bruiser, he comes in with the knowledge of Harley Race and being at the academy a long time ago.
Yes.
And Brian Milonas.
And Brian Milonas is coming in with the knowledge from Killer Kowalski.
Correct.
Who trained multiple
people like Triple H.
Exactly. Can the tandem of John Webb, who is a 2-time junior heavyweight championship in his own right, and John Webb, who is the first junior, also a tag team champion, and a World League Wrestling heavyweight champion.
If they can put aside their differences and work together as a team, if they can just pull together in the name of World League Wrestling, they can win this.
They can.
But they're going to have to put aside their differences, and they're going to have to work as a team.
And now these two are no stranger to tag team competition. JDR being part of the Black Hand Warriors, and with John Webb being part of High Level Enterprise with Jack Gamble.
That's right.
So they're no stranger to this tag team division, but at the same time, they've never teamed with each other, but they've been across the ring from each other multiple times.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to see what two different styles can do on the same team together.
Yeah.
They did get a little bit of a head start at the last event when there was some skirmishes that was going on. John Webb came out and helped JDR at the end of everything. The two of them shook hands. So are they if they're on the same page, this is a tag team that if they get past the Bouncers tonight, you've got to put them in the talk of being one of the favorites for this tag team championship tournament.
Well, not only that, what's waiting for them, we don't know yet, is Derek Stone, Camaro Jackson are still in this. And then we have a couple more teams that are still yet to be announced.
Sure.
So a lot of this is what's going to happen. You don't know. It's these two, if they move on, they still have a lot of hurdles in front of them, but they could potentially be in the finals.
But could definitely happen.
But
it could.
You're looking at the knowledge that the Bouncers are bringing to the ring.
How do you beat that type of knowledge?
any tag team that goes to the very end of this and can win this thing has definitely got the right to walk up to the front office and say, we want a shot at the WLW tag titles.
Yes. And
because look at the competition. Look at the mix-up we've had here.
yeah,
This tag team tournament has really mixed up the roster quite a bit to where we're seeing some combinations here that are quite interesting.
it is.
That are on one side can be volatile, but on the other side very, very powerful and potent if they can make it work, such as John Webb
Yes, and
JDR. You know, it's but like I said, they're going to have to really pull together if they're going to pull this off. Could you see John Webb and JDR going to the end of this, and in the end, going back into that main office and saying, all right, we pulled this off. We want a shot at the titles.
Well, see, here's the thing, CT. This tournament is a tag team championship tournament. That finals will be
unless the current champions win it.
Unless they get beat by them.
Correct.
If they're in the same bracket.
And that's completely possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
So at the end, we could see CTV and Cal Roberts against John Webb and JDR.
You could.
Or you might not see anything, because you could see the tag team champions win this tournament. Therefore,
nobody gets
back
a
to
shot
the drawing board.
Yeah,
Right.
Back to the drawing
So
board
if
for
you
everybody.
want this, boys, you better work it.
Yep.
And work it and work it and defeat it. We could see you could see a team of Brawler, and you could see the Bouncers at the end of this
Yes.
You could.
very easily.
Yes. They
And-
are a very well-established tag team in ROH. They've gone against the Briscoes,
Yeah,
Jay
Sure.
Lethal, and Jonathan Gresham.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
For
So
sure.
the,
For sure.
the names that this team has faced, they're world-renowned, and we all know them.
Not to mention, was just told to us earlier today, something very, very odd is in the works too, because there is a new tag team that is going to be joining us as well on the 9th. They're former WWE, ROH, New Japan Wrestling stars, and a current AEW tag team.
On the 9th of October.
A current
That's right now,
AEW
tonight.
tag team.
Yeah. That we're going to find out tonight on who that is.
And-
that could throw a monkey wrench in everybody's plans.
And if you watch Uncensored Wrestling Talk, we had speculated there's so many names on the AEW roster who could be showing up here tonight.
I have my thoughts, but I'm going to leave it.
Yeah, I mean, I have my thoughts too, and
I'm
there's
not going to say them.
I'm not going to say them because in the back of my mind, I have a team that, for me as a fan, I want to see in a WLW ring.
There's a few of them.
And I don't know who they're going to go up against, but if it's any one of them, even the Bouncers, it could be one heck of a tag team tournament.
You bet.
Well, they won't be going up against the Bouncers.
Well,
Not tonight, anyway.
Not tonight, anyways.
Not tonight. But if they go up against down the road, it could be a very potential, interesting tag team match that we may have
Absolutely.
never
Agreed.
seen before.
True.
And that's the one thing, like you said, CT, with this being said, we are seeing different combinations of tag teams that are, wow.
Yeah, that
really,
we didn't
this
think about
works.
before. Had you ever thought of JDR and John Webb?
No.
See, I mean, you could think about that, but it never seemed possible because of those two being so at each other.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of which, last month's event started the kickoff of this tournament, and we saw the Empire of Derek Stone and Camaro Jackson going up against a tag team that you never would have thought that you would have seen, and that was the Heartthrob and Sean Patrick.
Very interesting tag team. They complemented each other very well in the ring. Unfortunately, experience got over at that point because the Empire is a very well-established tag team. So it goes to show you that maybe experience could help you win this a little bit more. So in the main event, the Bouncers could have the upper hand just off experience alone.
And see, and with the Empire though, they have held those tag team championships on 2 separate occasions, but and yes, they've utilized those the Freebird rules and all of that. However, both Derek Stone and Camaro Jackson as a tag team have not held those belts together as a true
Tag team.
So that's another feather that they want to put in their hat.
That would be. There's a lot of this tournament, it's got you wondering where it's going to go next.
It's a tag team you've got to keep your eyes on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
but it's definitely one of those things to where tonight it's all going to be put out there. We're gonna have the main event that will go into the next round, and then I'm curious who this mystery team is.
Yeah,
I'm very, I guess, confused. Like, who could it be?
Yeah.
if you are not going to your local professional wrestling shows, you're really missing out. You
Yes.
need to go for the excitement, for the atmosphere. Don't look at TV and think, oh, is this what it is? I'm not really interested. Go to a show locally. Go to the World League Wrestling. Go to Harley's house. Go to 198 Cherry Blossom Way and be a part of this event, because you can still get down here.
Yeah.
Doors open at 6, bell time's at 7. And, man, you don't want to miss out on this, because
We've always said this. Anytime that there is a show with WLW, it's world-class performance in your backyard. Because it's
right in your backyard.
right in your backyard, man. Because you know what? The guys that you see on TV, on AEW, WWE, ROH, they all started in organizations like
Just
this.
like this, man.
That's right.
The current NXT champion is a Harley graduate.
That's right.
So you know what? This is where you need to be. If there's time still to go, tell your friends to get down here. Tell everybody. 6 great matches tonight.
Yeah, man.
And we still got the huge announcement of who
What team is it going to be?
Yep.
So, one more time, let's run over this.
Yep.
You've got Moses the Deliverer taking on Billy the Kid Jarrell.
Yep.
Okay, that'll be his debut. You've got Brandon Espinoza taking on Colton Theron Vaught. That's going to be a smooth. That's going to be a knocker.
That's hard hitting.
Camaro
Yeah,
Jackson
exactly.
taking on the heartthrob Jaden,
That's a hard hitting
and
one.
that's going to be a great match. You have the tag team, the new tag team or newly formed tag team, or I don't know how you want to call it, but Jayden Dominic Rose and John Webb up against ROH superstars, the Bouncers, Beer City Bruiser, and Brian Milonas.
Do you ever
Insane.
do you ever think in the back of your mind, like, man, we're actually going to see this
Yeah,
live in
absolutely.
Harley's house?
In Harley's
Exactly.
ring. It's great. Then you've got Raheem De La Suede, the current junior heavyweight champion, taking on Kyle Roberts. Now, if Kyle Roberts wins in this stipulation, he gets a shot at the junior heavyweight championship. He's got to beat the junior heavyweight champion to show he can do it, or he deserves it, and then he will get a shot. Then you've got Derek Stone, former tag team champion, former heavyweight champion. The man has been everywhere. He's trained more guys than are on the roster.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. The first trainer at the Harley Race Wrestling Academy.
That's right.
That's right.
Derek Stone taking on the former junior heavyweight champion, Sean Patrick, the Illustrated Man. And then somewhere along the way, a mystery tag team will be showing up. Now, this mystery tag team, as I said earlier, former WWE superstar, former ROH superstars, former New Japan Pro Wrestling superstars, and a current AEW tag team will be announced.
I mean, let the speculation
huge.
begin.
Let the speculation begin. That's all I can say. Doors open at 6. Bell time is at 7. World League Wrestling, the house that Harley Race built, 198 Cherry Blossom Way, right on the corner of 3rd Street in Cherry Blossom, across the street from the ambulance district in Troy, Missouri. I don't care if you're in St. Charles. I don't care if you're in St. Louis. Drive your butt out here and see this show. You
That's right.
don't want to miss it.
It's going to be a heck of a time. We're going to have fun. The fans are going to have fun.
They'll be hanging out in the park. It'll be pandemonium.
It's going to be awesome.
That kind of weirded me out there for a second. I'm not gonna lie, but no, it's gonna be a great night of professional wrestling.
That's right.
See what I did
Absolutely.
there? Professional wrestling. We're gonna have a great time. Make sure you're here. We're gonna have fun. Make sure you get some hot dogs.
Yeah.
Because we don't want leftovers. Because I
Yeah.
will eat them.
He will eat them. So, that being said, this was a special pre-show of WLW Amplify. I am CT Harrison, joined by my buddies over here, Sarge and Doc Bed from Uncensored Wrestling Talk, which you can see on the Traveling East Productions Network every Saturday at 2 o'clock p.m. Just find Traveling East Productions on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, whichever one you prefer, and check out the shows. Other than that, it's been a good... I don't know. Let's go watch some wrestling. Man.
Yeah,
That's all I can
let's
say.
go have fun.
I got this.
Absolutely.
So anyhow, I'm CT. They're the crew from Uncensored Wrestling Talk. Sergeant Doc Med, and see you at ringside.
Oh, hi Ben.
See y'all in just a little bit.
See you in a bit.